We begin in California with a monumental ruling and the fierce backlash it is already triggering. In a 4-3 decision filling 120 pages, the California Supreme Court struck down the state's ban on same-sex marriage, calling it unconstitutional and making California the second state after Massachusetts to allow gay couples to marry. By this afternoon, gay and lesbian couples had already started lining up at San Francisco City Hall to make appointments to get marriage licenses, but the battle is not over. Plans to undo today's landmark decision are already underway in California and nationwide. We'll get to all of that shortly, but first, the history that was made today. Here's Ted Rowlands.
People cheered outside the San Francisco courthouse, jubilant over the 4-3 decision that paves the way for same-sex marriage in California.
Yes, we're so excited. We're so excited.
We won! We won! And there is not a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender person in this country that is not better off because we won.
The state Supreme Court rocked the national debate over same-sex marriage, calling it a, quote, basic civil right to all Californians, whether gay or heterosexual, and to same-sex couples as well as to opposite-sex couples. The ruling's sweeping reach surprised many as the court went well beyond the immediate question of mere limited civil unions. And not everyone is celebrating. Same-sex marriage opponents are vowing to change the state's constitution, in effect overturning the court's ruling.
This is what the California Supreme Court has said. Children, you have a new role model. Homosexual marriage. Aspire to it. This is a disaster.
Republican Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger has opposed same-sex marriage, but today he said in a statement, quote, I respect the court's decision, and as governor, I will uphold its ruling. Also, as I have said in the past, I will not support an amendment to the Constitution that would overturn this state Supreme Court ruling. The ruling instructs state officials to take action, and the mayors of Los Angeles and San Francisco say they are more than ready.
Individual freedom and liberty defines us, who we are as Californians and Americans. And today that fundamental right has been extended to hundreds of thousands of gay and lesbian Californians.
As California goes, so goes the rest of the nation. It's inevitable. This door's wide open now. It's going to happen, whether you like it or not. This is the future, and it's now.
A celebration for some, a call to arms for others, with many predicting a new debate over an issue that has already deeply divided the nation.
That was Mayor Gavin Newsom from San Francisco. He'll be on the program in just a minute. Ted joins us now. Can same-sex couples start getting married tomorrow? I mean, when does this take effect? Is it 30 days? I've also heard 90 days.
Yeah, this ruling goes into effect in 30 days. There were people in San Francisco already lined up trying to get an application for it. Apparently, Gavin Newsom, you can ask him yourself, he has extended an invitation to an 87 and 84-year-old couple that have been together for 55 years and asking them if they would like to go first.
And
but
Ted, what makes
30 days and then right away people start getting married.
And this is different from in Massachusetts, because in Massachusetts there's only couples who have residence in that state. This applies to anyone from the United States can go to California and get married.
Right, but it wouldn't be recognized in the state of their residency per se, but they're welcome to come here to California to tie the knot, indeed.
Ted Rowlands reporting. California's highest court went much further than many legal observers thought it would, as Ted mentioned, considering that 6 of the 7 judges who ruled are Republican appointees. Joining me now to talk about the implications of today's ruling is San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom, who set the case in motion 4 years ago when his city began issuing marriage licenses to gay couples. And also joining me now is CNN senior legal analyst Jeffrey Toobin. Mayor Newsom, when you first heard the news, what went through your mind?
Well, I was ecstatic, exhilarated. Candidly, I didn't know which way it would go. As you said just a moment ago, 6 out of 7 of these justices were appointed by rather conservative California Republican governors. So we really didn't know. We knew it was going to be close. 4-3 decision was predicted. We didn't know what side of the ledger we ended up on. So it was an extraordinary moment. And to see the people outside cheering, hugging, feeling their lives affirmed. It was a very remarkable time.
Jeffrey, legally speaking, how significant is this?
This is a major day in American history. This is, of course, our biggest state. 38 million people live here. Plus, every gay American in the United States can now go to California and get married. It is not clear how that will be recognized in their home state. Some states may recognize it, many will not, but it's a complete change in the legal landscape about gay marriage.
Mayor Newsom, one of the dissenting judges said the issue should be left up to voters. In a ballot initiative in 2000, Californians voted against this. Is this overruling the will of the people?
Well, I think it's rather sad that that was suggested. I mean, the whole idea of subjecting the minority to the whim of the majority is why we have a constitution, and that's to protect the minority. The fact is, it was in 1948 when the California Supreme Court did the right thing and stood on principle against the will of 90% of Americans at the time as it related to the ban on interracial marriage. So the fact is, if we subjected it to the whim of the majority, the reality was we probably wouldn't, even today, I would go so far as to suggest this, perhaps not even have interracial marriage in this country. So I just reject that out of hand.
And Jeff, what was the court in fact saying? I mean, they were saying that gay people not only have a constitutional right to be married, but that it's better for children of gay couples if the couples are married.
That's right. They said that marriage is such an important part of American life. It is such an important legal right that it is impermissible under California law to deprive an entire group of people of that set of rights. So they kind of turned the argument against gay marriage on its head. The opponents of gay
it say, well, look, marriage is so important, it's an incredibly important part of society. The judges said, yeah, you're right.
Exactly, and we're not going to take it away from a substantial chunk of people.
They also said in the ruling that I read that basically that being raised by a gay couple was not any worse than being raised by anybody else. I mean, it's the same, that it's just it's equal.
Well, and they said that is one reason why you can't wall off these people. You can't wall off gay people as if they are less than equal citizens. Important to emphasize, this only applies in California. Other states have their own constitutions, and this is not something the Supreme Court United States Supreme Court will get involved in. This is just California.
Mayor Newsom, do you think that a new ballot initiative to ban same-sex marriage is going to be successful in California?
No, I don't, for the same reason that George Bush tried and failed to do it nationally. And you had the courage of leaders like Senator John McCain that recognized the perversity of it. The whole idea that the Constitution of the United States would be used to advance a political agenda is absurd. Take a look at how many times our Constitution has been amended, and for what reasons: to abolish slavery, to allow women the right to vote. The reality is the Constitution's been amended usually to advance rights, not to deny or reject people's rights, and so I think it will be appropriately rejected in the state of California this November.
But we should point out that every time gay marriage has been on the ballot, the voters have rejected it.
Yeah.
So Gavin's and company have their work cut out for it if, in fact, this
Mayor
is...
Newsom, as we saw in that piece, you said, as California goes, so goes the nation.
Yeah.
Some folks around the country, when they hear that, are going to be worried. They're going to be concerned by what's happening in California. What do you say to those folks tonight?
Yeah, and I respect the differences. Look, I have differences of opinion within my own family, Irish Catholic family. So I do respect those that disagree. But at the end of the day, look, the sky didn't fall in. The world didn't come to an end in Massachusetts. And mayors as an institution has not ended there either. It's not going to end in California. The reality is, take a look around. The people that are serving you gas, the people that are in your restaurant serving you, the firefighters and police officers, members of the gay and lesbian community. They're members of our broader community. And the fact is, we're all affirmed when their rights and their opportunity to live their life out loud is affirmed. And so I think eventually people will come to grips with this, and then they'll move on to things that matter more in their lives: healthcare, education, all of those things that the presidential candidates should be focused on, not this issue yet again.
Mayor Gavin Newsom, we appreciate your time tonight. Jeffrey Toobin, thanks for explaining to us.